So today we're going to paint the Give Thanks little table decor that we have. So what we're going to do, you have three pieces essentially, the Give, the Thanks, and the pumpkins. We'll paint the Give and the Thanks first. You could do whatever color you'd like. I'm going to do black just so it stands out, because my background is of course going to be oranges and reds and browns. So I'm going to do a black Give Thanks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my pumpkins aside. I'm going to grab my brush and I am just going to start painting my Give Thanks black. And you want 2 coats of paint as you're painting this. So after 2 coats, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Give Thanks aside. Make sure your hands are decently clean, and you can bring your pumpkin back. And you're going to have to wash and dry your brush. So we're going to start painting our pumpkin. Now, the first step, there's lines, so it's a little easier. But you guys have your paints, and you have this little cup of orange. This is actually like a wood stain, an orange wood stain. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to paint our pumpkins with that orange stain. And kind of stay in the lines. If you can't get in the lines, that's okay. Once you finish your first pumpkin, you could go back, you could do your ones in the back. And I like to almost outline the pumpkin and then fill it in. And after we finish painting all the pumpkins, we'll add some details. So like the different lines of the pumpkins really stand out. And as you're doing the back part of the wood piece, don't fret too much if you get paint on like the front part. Just make sure you get everything that you are able to see. Alright, so now I'm going to wash my brush, and I'm going to move on to brown next. I'm going to stir up my brown. I'm going to add a little brown to the stems of the pumpkins. And what I'm going to do is then I'm going to take my brush next, and I'm going to put a little brown on it, and using the corner of the brush, I'm just going to, where those lines are in the pumpkin, I'm just going to add a little brown to the lines. Go outside your lines, that's fine. Just to highlight. Next, I'm going to wash my brush, and I'm going to open my white, and I'm going to add a teeny bit of white in my stem too. Just a couple of lines. And there we have my pumpkins are finished. Next, I'm going to move on to my leaves. My leaves, I'm going to do a combination of red, maybe some greens and some browns. So I'm going to start with my red one. So painting, I'm going to paint one red. And I'm not going to paint the whole leaf, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my brush. Then on the outside of my leaf, I'm going to add that orange. And just blend that orange and the red. But you really could do any colors that you like. After you're finished, if you want to take a little brown and put a little brown stem, go for it. Alright, so I'm going to move on to my next ones. I'm going to use some green. I have my green. And then once I have my green leaves finished, I'm going to take some brown again and just add some brown for the stem. Alright, so now I'm going to work on my back leaves. I'm going to do them all different kinds. I'm going to do some red. Orange. And try his best. I'm not even coloring all the lines. I'm just kind of trying to color inside. Some green. I'm going to make a brown leaf too. I'm going to put him up here. All the colors of fall. And we're going to do another red right behind here. After I do those leaves, I'm just going to go back with some brown and add my brown stem. Alright, so we like roughly did it. Give you illusion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a minute now. I'm going to stand it up and I'm going to paint the base. You could do whatever color you want. I think I'm going to do it orange. I like how that orange looks. It looks like Thanksgiving. Yep. Alright, so I'm just doing my base. So then I have my Thanksgiving scene right here. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit and then we'll come back. You'll need some glue for the next step and we'll put it all together. Alright, so I let my piece dry. My letters are dry. I packed up most of my paint except one color, and I'll give you a hint what we're gonna use next. So the first step is we are going to glue our Give Thanks on. So to glue it, all you need is a tiny bit of glue. A little goes a long way, and I am using a wood glue. You could use Elmer's, any glue that you have. A glue stick would work, anything, and just glue down that Give Thanks. Just glue that down, and then your last step before we wrap it up, I just moved it a little bit. Your last step is you could add, since you have it, you could add some glitter if you'd like. So the glitter, there's 2 little pots of glitter. The glitter is a clear coat, so it dries clear, it just has a little shimmer. So I'm just taking some gold, and I like to put it on as like the final step because sometimes it takes a little while to dry. So I'm just going to add it on some of my leaves in the background. I'm going to add a little over here. I like it on the leaves, but you could put it, if you're a glitter fiend, you could put it on anywhere you'd like. I'll put a little on my pumpkin too. I like how the gold looks. All right, so I glittered it. We're gonna let it dry, and then once it's dry, it's ready to stand up, and it'll look like a beautiful decoration for Thanksgiving. All right, I hope you guys had a fun time with me.